Snow fell in soft, delicate sheets over the small New England town, coating rooftops, lamp posts, and sidewalks in glittering white. From every house came the faint glow of Christmas lights, greens, reds, and warm golden hues that flickered against the night sky. It looked like a town plucked straight out of a Christmas movie. But for Daniel, a single father, it wasn't always as magical as it looked. Inside their modest two-bedroom home, he adjusted the crooked star at the top of the Christmas tree. The tree leaned slightly to one side, like always, but Daniel didn't have the heart to fix it. His 7-year-old daughter, Lily, danced in circles around him, wearing a red velvet dress and a Santa headband that wobbled with every spin. "Daddy, the star's still not straight." She giggled. Daniel grinned. "Well, maybe it likes to dance too, just like you." They both laughed, but behind Daniel's smile, there was an ache. It was their third Christmas without her mother, and while he'd done everything to keep traditions alive, cookies, carols, decorating, there was a quiet emptiness he couldn't ignore. After dinner, Lily begged for their usual walk to see the neighborhood lights. Daniel wrapped her in her puffy jacket, pulled on his old coat, and together they stepped into the snowy night. They strolled past homes with glowing windows and laughter spilling out. Families gathered around fireplaces. The scent of pine and gingerbread seemed to drift into the air. Lily's mittened hand clutched his tightly. And then Daniel saw him. A lone figure sat hunched on a bench in the town square, his breath visible in the cold air. A heavy duffel bag rested at his feet. His shoulders sagged under the weight of more than just the snow. The dark uniform, worn and faded, revealed the truth immediately: a soldier. His face was young, maybe late 20s, but it was the kind of face that carried years of exhaustion in its eyes. He looked like someone who had been away too long and returned to find the world had kept moving without him. Lily noticed too. "Daddy," she whispered, "why is that man all alone on Christmas?" Daniel froze. He recognized that loneliness. He had felt it himself, on those long nights after losing his wife. He knew what it meant to watch the world celebrate when your own heart felt hollow. Something inside him stirred. He couldn't just walk past. With Lily at his side, Daniel approached gently. "Hey," he said softly, not wanting to intrude. "Cold night to be sitting out here." The soldier looked up, startled. His eyes were wary, guarded. Daniel continued. "My daughter and I are heading home for dinner. Nothing fancy, but would you like to join us?" The soldier blinked, caught off guard. His lips parted, as if he wanted to say no. He shifted uncomfortably, his pride fighting against his loneliness. "I don't want to intrude," he murmured. "You wouldn't be," Daniel said, his voice steady but kind. "Nobody should spend Christmas alone." Before the soldier could argue, Lily stepped forward, holding out a candy cane from her pocket. "You can sit next to me," she said sweetly. "And you can help me eat too many cookies." For the first time that night, a faint, disbelieving smile flickered across his face. His defenses cracked just enough. He nodded slowly. "Okay." Back at the house, warmth greeted them, both from the heater and from the smell of roasted chicken, potatoes, and cinnamon rolls waiting on the counter. Lily bounded inside, excited to show off the tree, the stockings, and the snow globe collection she had been building with her dad. The soldier lingered at the doorway, hesitant, until Daniel said, "Come on in. Your family for tonight." They sat at the table, and after a few bites of food, Daniel asked, "What's your name?" "Ethan," he replied quietly. His voice carried the weight of someone unused to speaking much. At first, he only answered in short phrases, but Lily's chatter soon broke through his silence. Between giggles, she insisted he wear a Santa hat. "You're part of the team now," she declared, plopping it on his head. And just like that, Ethan laughed. A real laugh. As the night wore on, he opened up. He told them he had just returned from deployment overseas. His family had grown distant during his absence, and when he came back there was no one waiting for him at the airport. "I didn't know where else to go," he admitted, staring at his plate. "So I just walked." Daniel felt a lump in his throat. He knew what it meant to come home to an empty space. He reached across the table, not with words, but with a steady gaze that said, "You belong here, at least tonight." By dessert, Ethan's shoulders had relaxed. Lily piled cookies on his plate until he surrendered. They played a silly board game by the fire, Lily's laughter filling the room. Ethan even told a story about Christmases from his childhood, the first time he'd spoken of himself all evening. Hours later, as midnight neared, Ethan stood at the door, duffel bag in hand. His eyes glistened. "I don't know how to thank you," he said, his voice thick. "I thought this Christmas was going to be the hardest one of my life. But tonight, it felt like I came home." Daniel put a hand on his shoulder. "Sometimes family isn't about blood. It's about being there when someone needs you." Ethan swallowed hard, fighting back tears. Lily hugged him tightly, whispering, "Come back next Christmas, okay?" He nodded, unable to speak. As Ethan walked into the snowy night, the bench where he had sat earlier seemed like a lifetime ago. He carried something with him now, not just the memory of a warm meal, but the reminder that kindness still existed, even from strangers. And inside the little house, Daniel tucked Lily into bed, her face glowing with happiness. She fell asleep murmuring, "It was the best Christmas ever." Daniel sat by the fire, reflecting on the evening. He realized that while he had set out to give a stranger comfort, he himself had received a gift too, the reminder that love, even the smallest gesture of it, could heal what loneliness tried to break. Because sometimes, the simplest invitation, "Want to have dinner with us," can change a life. That Christmas night, a single dad, a little girl, and a lonely soldier discovered the true meaning of the holiday, that no one should be left out in the cold, and that a warm home is not just built from walls and lights, but from open hearts.